So welcome back, and we have a really special video today, and we're here with a local celebrity. We have Tom Knott, who is an amazing sculptor and an amazing human being, and it is a real honor to be once again on Comox Pentlatch unceded traditional territory and to be on this little parcel of land that is caretaken by Johnny and Tom. And we're here to learn a little bit about Tom himself and his views about art and nature and the world and his work, and to hear some stories and, I don't know, have some laughs.
It's always, to me, interesting to go back to sort of where things started. And my earliest visual memory, almost my earliest memory, is of lying on a blanket, sort of like this, in the middle of this expanse of just green crystal shining in the light. And in the distance there were these white buildings. And it took me a long time to figure out what this was because it was such a clear memory. And it must have been before I was 9 months old because I couldn't walk. I knew in the memory. I wasn't even trying. I was just sort of crawling around on this blanket. And that image of the light is just so powerful that it keeps coming back. And sometimes it's, in celebration, and sometimes I'm reminding myself.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and so good way to say is, that's sort of where it all started.
That's really, thank you for starting there, because one of the things that we'll be talking about in our What's Happening video is about the light and the sun. It's June.
Yeah.
And there's always something special that happens in every month, but in June we come into solstice.
Yes.
Yeah, so What a beautiful place to start.
Yeah, and amongst many of the original peoples, that was a time of celebration. First thing we did was to walk back out through Hellawell Park. And at that time, that big wide trail was about like this. And it was strictly humans, and of course the deer used it, and there were a few other creatures at that time. And we're walking back through the grove, and we took the left-hand trail that leads out to the point. And about a third of the way out there, something just took me and pulled me back into the woods to those two ancient trees at the heart of the grove.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time in my life, and I was in my mid-30s then, first time I'd felt home in my heart. That was another one of those took me by the heart and brought me here. So I feel really blessed by these things. And it would have been so easy to have missed those.
What kind of words of wisdom would you share with the children on these islands?
Follow your heart. Find the ways to let what's deep inside you come into awareness and to be expressed. I mean, I saw that in some of the earlier videos from this project of, let's go out and build a mandala. Let's go play.
Right. We're going to do some of that today.
It was so much fun to watch those after I got the newsletter from the Arts Council, and we met as we did down in the basement of the co-op.
Yeah, keeping our 6 feet apart, and we still did it, right?
Yeah, and so and it's about a respect for life, because when you really let it come into you and really be aware, there's nothing that isn't alive. Some of it, like the stones, move really slow. But there is a life. There's a sense of a direction of following, and it's also chaos. However, there is this meaning that we find in this.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because on the phone you were mentioning about, that a little bit of the chaos and actually how you started to come into some of the work that you do.
Yeah, there's a sign up down in the studio building that says chaos and creativity are brother and sister. And when I get stumped with doing this work, I just don't know where I'm going to go next, I'll just start playing with some scraps of steel, or I go for a walk, and next thing I know I'm messing with sticks and the stones around and looking at the trees and feeling that shape deeply, and come back and some guidance, something emerges.
Maybe could you help our young listeners or young viewers who, sometimes I've had this experience when I'm doing art, and then I'm not quite sure what to do next, or I'm starting to feel like a little frustrated with something because maybe the technique is new or the material's new, and what words of advice would you give someone in that circumstance?
Well, I don't know about advice, but I can share my experience.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about that, about the steel sculpture, that I've only been doing this for a few years, and it came out of finding that somehow the wood just wasn't, I needed a new medium. So I've got a work-study program going on. I'm constantly learning things and making mistakes, except why'd I say something negative about it when it pointed me in a new direction? Because you get to do it right. Well, maybe there's no wrong way to do it. Maybe there's just the doing. And I think that's an important thing, because everything gets so goal-oriented, and you got to do it this way and achieve this and that. And all of this around us has come from not that place, which is a very place of human, verbal consciousness, cultural kind of thing. And it's with the traditional peoples that's still alive here. And of course it's been discovered by lots of other people coming from where I came from, or all sorts of different places. But that old wisdom, that old understanding, that sort of opening to whatever is there. That was a few years back that I had been working with the wood, and I just wanted to work with something else. So I thought about metal, and I was doing some metal sculpture. And one day I was sitting, and I saw the circle with the S of the yin yang in it. And what happened was the circle turned one way and the S turned the other, until I was looking at this curve rotating in space and in my vision. And I instantly knew that if I started walking here, I could get to the other side. And if I kept on walking, I could get back, and I could go all around this.
And just go pretty much anywhere.
One surface. And like Yarrow was saying, why don't you put that in one of your sculptures? Well, it's all over here. Every single one of these, an ambitious spider could walk the entire surface without ever crossing an edge.
So like all of this one way, you just always end up to another place. Like if you're inside here, somehow you end up at the top.
Well, let's take a look. Where do you want to start?
Center.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. Put your finger there, and I'll help you with turning this if you need to. Well, it looks like you can keep going.
Oh wow.
Oh, we got to the other side.
You made it back.
Halfway. Yeah. And
So it like pretty much all leads to the same place. You go like one side to another without actually walking past.
yeah, without having to hop over an edge. And you did something that I didn't realize I was making while I was making this, is that you made the spiral.
Yeah,
You started here and you just keep on going, spiraling out, and then back in
and then
again.
you go back in. It's like you're going out and coming in inside of the
Yes. And so when this is turning, especially when there's a strong light shining on it, that spiral kind of hops in and out of your vision. You're seeing the circles, you're seeing the spiral, you're seeing the circles.
Oh, yeah.
So those discoveries keep me going.
I just saw that this morning in a snail shell. Because we were just with some girls in the forest this morning and we found some snails. And we were admiring the spiral in
Oh,
the snail.
wow. Wood snails, woodland
Yeah,
snails?
I think that's what they're...
Oh, they are becoming very scarce around here.
Oh. I love how when you were touching it, we could hear it as well.
Yeah.
I always love when things are, nature always makes us open our senses in so many ways.
Mhm.
And art
Yeah.
your art is
Yeah.
very much like that too. Musical.
I didn't do it. Yeah, so they're all like that. And this the turning was a discovery because I thought I was making it was stationary and thought, people can set it in the corner. A little one, small one, set it in the corner, and you're only looking at it from one way. If it could turn it around,
Then it's so alive.
You know
And-
what?
To see all the
You
different
could be starting a whole new future just by creating these. See? Big brain.
we all got to get together to do that.
Tom Knott's throwing down some knowledge.
This one spun so well, and then the bearing got wet. Now I keep there.
That is fun.
I just cannot see what I'm seeing.
Oh, I want to see the video
I
of
don't
that.
know what happened, but it happened.
What's the inspiration on this piece? I can see that piece that you showed us earlier. So the yin and the yang.
Well, I started off just with these curls at the bottom and made that with a reversal. It's the same kind of thing happening. And then I just started building. And when I got up to the top, I figured, hey, that goes nicely there. And
Something like a very fluid and like a body.
dancer is one thing
Yeah.
that comes to mind. And
Like the face.
Yeah, there's arms and
Here, we
legs.
could all
the
pretend to
sun.
be this.
yes.
It just looks like a wormhole that's moving inside space very slowly.
Yeah.
Or this.
I mean, I have my little, experiences and interpretations of these, but the variety is what is just so amazing to me, that there are so many things actually there. You can't argue about it, though people will. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. It's and.
It's
Yeah.
all these and more.
Because that's where the unity is.
Right. Okay, let's pause there. Whoa, that's like profound. We can't just keep going. The unity, I get it. I'm having a mind pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of carbon. It takes a ton of steel makes about 2 tons of carbon dioxide, and so seeing as how we're living very quietly here with 14 acres, most of which is in the natural areas covenant program with the Islands Trust.
For conservation.
So nobody gets to subdivide it and cut it, and so we're taking care of everything we produce. That much goes into the forest here, plus some for others,
Yeah,
and that feels good.
that feels good. And what a beautiful thing to consider, your carbon footprint and how you choose to engage in the world. And
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been close enough to the natural world for long enough that I saw this coming. I saw these things happening. and it's even deeper now.
Tom, you had mentioned on the phone something about a mobius strip.
Oh yeah.
What's that? I'm
Okay,
kind of curious. I have no idea what that is.
That is the simplest one-sided form. Two pieces of paper. And what I'd like you to do is to take it and give it a half turn, and then bring these ends back together, and I'll put a piece of tape on it, and then you can explore.
So
half a turn.
half turn, and then bring it like this.
No, with the ends pointed onto each other.
So
like this way. It tries to get loose from you, but it's
like this?
Yes. Now I'm going to put some tape on that so it stays there.
Oh yeah, it does fit. You can get to the other side without having to jump.
Yup.
Look at that.
That's the simplest form.
Did I add in one?
I think just half turn.
Oh, look. I made
Aha.
something different.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Wow. What did I do?
Something.
A curly Q.
A little
So
spiral.
Oh, but it still works.
Well,
It goes inside this. It's not a mobius strip, but it's something else.
yeah, let's put some
It
tape
all
on it
works
and
together.
explore that.
So we got these two.
Yeah.
Hey, if you put them together, then you're making a little mini sculpture.
Yep.
Yeah, you can make one of these.
That's a neat form. But let's see whether this one, how many sides this one has. Let's check that out.
1, 2.
The one in the center that your mom made.
Can you pull it out there?
Yeah. And I've got a pen here so you can actually trace it out and we'll see what's going on. Or you could use your crayons. No hopping edges.
Nope, no hopping edges. It's kind of hard to trace this one.
Yep. It's a little bit tricky. Yeah, that's right.
It's just not lying down on something. It just leads to where we started. Oh, good.
Let's see. We got.
And here.
We got both sides. Good. Now, how many turns, how many twists was that you put in it?
Don't know?
I thought it was like a full turn, a full rotation, or maybe a little bit more.
I think you did it with 3 half turns.
Okay.
That's why we have to explore. So there's another one that's like that, only it's curled up even tighter.
Even tighter.
Yeah, getting curled up like a pangolin or something.
Awesome.
There we go.
Hey, look, it all works.
Yep, it all works.
So we just take strips of paper and
Yeah.
we can play
Yeah.
with them and create
Yeah.
forms.
And you can do fun
create
things
from my
like you can take once you've got one of these made and it's well taped there, you could take the scissors and start cutting an edge off and see what happens.
and see what happens.
Or you could cut it right smack down the middle and see what happens. Now those are both interesting things to explore.
Okay, well, so we've got some homework. Tom, we're super grateful to have this time to spend with you in your garden and on your land and to hear your stories.
And seeing all
And
these amazing sculptures.
See all these amazing sculptures and to have these incredible mind pops. I think we've all been really
Brain
blessed.
fart.
In different words.
That'll come across as brain bleep.
Bleep, bleep. We've all been imbued with things to think about and ponder.
And to hopefully some inspiration.
Yeah.
And that's a neat word. Inspiration is a taking in of the breath.
Nice. So we're going to remember to go outside and breathe and be inspired,
Yes.
because that's where it all starts. And that's where we started, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We started talking about the earth and the connection to the earth and the sun.
We come around to that these things that, as I think I said, we can't explain them, we can't understand, and that's a taking into the heart.
Well, thank you for your beautiful heart.
Right here.
Yes.